The studio lights burned brighter than usual. Or at least that's how it felt to Joy Behar. The view table gleamed. Mugs lined up like obedient soldiers. The audience buzzing with that. Anticipatory energy that always came before a celebrity guest made an entrance. Russell Crowe sat across from her, relaxed, confident, almost amused. He had the posture of a man who knew the room belonged to him the moment he stepped into it. The conversation began politely enough. Film promotions, method acting, stories from movie sets. Joy leaned in, sharp as ever, tossing witty remarks that usually earned laughter. But Crowe's smile started to sharpen, turning from charm into something colder. "So, Joy," he said casually, tilting his head, "do you ever worry that you're playing a character too? The loud provocateur, I mean. Or is that just who you are now?" A ripple of nervous laughter moved through the audience. Joy blinked, surprised, then chuckled. "Oh, honey, I don't play loud." "I am loud." Crowe didn't let go. "Right, because controversy keeps the lights on. Without it, what would be left?" The co-hosts shifted in their seats. Whoopi raised an eyebrow. Sonny glanced toward the producer's booth. Joy felt the words land like a slap. Clean, public, intentional. This wasn't banter. This was a challenge. She leaned back, lips pressed together, trying to decide whether to deflect or confront. Years on live television had taught her restraint, but humiliation, especially when wrapped in smug politeness, hit a nerve. "You came here to promote a movie," Joy said evenly. "Not psychoanalyze the panel." Crowe shrugged. "I just find it fascinating how outrage has become a career." The audience gasped softly. Camera zoomed in. Joy felt heat crawl up her neck. The familiar voice in her head whispered, "Let it go." Another voice, louder and angrier, said, "Not this time." She set her mug down with a sharp clink. "Fascinating?" she repeated. "You want fascinating? Watching a man mistake arrogance for depth on live TV, that's fascinating." The studio froze. Somewhere off camera, a producer cursed under their breath. The spark had landed, and Joy Behar was no longer interested in playing nice. Joy didn't raise her voice at first. That was the most dangerous part. When she spoke again, it was controlled, precise, every word sharpened by decades of experience. "You sit there," she said, eyes locked on Crowe, "acting like you're above this conversation, above this show, above us. But you accepted the invitation. You took the seat. Don't insult the table just because you're bored." Crowe laughed, a short, dismissive sound. "Touchy," he muttered. That was it. Joy leaned forward, palms flat against the table. "Touchy? No, I'm tired. Tired of men who think being rude is the same as being honest. Tired of watching successful women get talked down to for sport." The audience erupted into applause. Whoopi tried to interject, but Joy kept going, her voice finally rising. "You want to talk about outrage culture? Let's talk about ego culture. About walking into a room and deciding you're the smartest person in it. About mistaking cruelty for intelligence." Crowe opened his mouth, but Joy cut him off. "No, you've had your turn. This is live television, and you don't get to humiliate people for applause and then play the victim when someone pushes back." The director's voice crackled in the control room, urging a commercial break. The red light on the camera blinked, signaling they were seconds away. Joy felt her heart pounding, but she didn't stop. "I've built my career on honesty, humor, and yes, sometimes anger. But I've never needed to belittle anyone to feel important." Silence followed, thick and heavy. Crowe stared at her, his confident mask finally slipping. The applause grew louder, some audience members standing. The co-hosts exchanged stunned looks. Then the screen faded to black. Backstage during the break, producers rushed in, whispering urgently. Joy sat still, breathing hard, hands trembling slightly. She wasn't sure what would happen next. Apologies. Damage control. Maybe consequences. But one thing surprised her most. She didn't regret a single word. When the show returned from commercial, Crowe was gone. Whoopi cleared her throat and looked into the camera. "Well," she said dryly, "that escalated." Joy adjusted her glasses, stared straight ahead, and finally allowed herself a small, defiant smile. The studio emptied slowly. Audience members buzzed with excitement, phones already out, clips spreading across the internet like wildfire. Joy Behar Erupts Live trended within minutes. Some called it unprofessional. Others called it iconic. Joy sat alone in her dressing room, makeup half removed, staring at her reflection. Without the lights, without the crowd, the adrenaline faded, leaving behind exhaustion and clarity. A producer knocked gently. "You okay?" Joy nodded. "I've been doing this a long time," she said. "I know when a line's been crossed." Later that evening, her phone buzzed non-stop. Messages from friends, from fellow comedians, from women thanking her for saying what they wished they could say at work, at home, in rooms where silence was safer than truth. Crowe released a brief statement, calling the exchange misinterpreted banter. Joy read it once and set the phone down. She didn't respond. The next morning, she returned to the View, same table, same mug, same lights. But something felt different. The room felt reclaimed. As the show went live, Joy spoke first. "Yesterday," she said calmly, "people saw anger. What they missed was boundaries." Applause filled the studio. Joy smiled, not with triumph, but with peace. She hadn't erupted because she lost control. She erupted because she refused to shrink. And in a world that often rewarded silence over self-respect, that choice mattered. Sometimes humiliation isn't the end of a story. Sometimes it's the moment someone finally decides to speak.